Men, this is Mr. Christensen. I'm going to show you how to use A+ if you don't already know how. So you've gone to the Boys Republic webpage here at the Chino Valley Unified School District. Right now I'm on my webpage. And the first thing you see when you get there is you see this. And if you click on this link right here, it will take you to A+. Let me pause and make that bigger so you can see the whole thing. Shazam, and I'm back. Now when you get here, what you want to do, you want to go to this browser playback button right here. See that one that's flashing? Boom. You click on that. You take your username and you type it in. I have created a fictitious account using one of the most beloved cartoon characters of all time. One Mr. Bugs Bunny. So B Bunny. He types in his username. He types in his password. 007. In case you were wondering and you didn't know. So once Bugs does that, he comes over here and hits this arrow. Shazam, he's in his course. He knows it's him because he sees his name right here, Bugs Bunny. Now let's assume that this is you. This is the first time you've used this. So then you go to lessons. You can see right here, this course is U.S. History. And if it's your first time in, that yellow line, that means that's the lesson, in this case, that's the lesson you're starting with. So to go to it, you go to this arrow down here. It'll take you to the next screen. It's going to ask you to take a pretest. It says you will pass a pretest if you achieve the minimum score required, shown below. 100% pass it. That doesn't matter. Even if you get 100%, you still have to complete the lesson. But to go to the pretest, you hit the arrow. The way you want to use these pretests are this way. These questions that are being asked right here in the pretest are the types of questions that will be asked you on the mastery test and on the practice test and on unit review test and on the finals. So if you don't know one of these on the pretest, don't worry about it. Just look at it from the perspective so as you go through the material, these are the kind of things they're going to ask you to know. So which statement correctly matches the characteristics of exploration in the New World? You read these over, take your best shot. If you don't know it, take your best shot and click on it. Go to the next screen. It'll go to the next screen when you put the answer. Which explorer discovered the mouth of St. Lawrence River in the New World? And you say, well, I think it's LaSalle. So you click on that. You go to the next one. Which one of these statements is true? And you think it's this one. And so you go to the next one, etc. So I'm going to buzz through the rest of this so I don't take forever on this video showing you how it works. Let me go back here one. Whenever you see one of these little symbols, it opens up something else. So it says, look at the map. That's how you get to the map. Okay? Again, another map question. And when you're done doing it, a box is going to come up saying, are you sure you're okay with being done? You say yes. And then it's going to give you a score. And you missed them all, which means you better pay particular attention as you go through the material. So then you exit. And this is the component of each one of these lessons. You have a minimum of 15 minutes study. Then you have to do a practice test, which you have to get at least 80% on for it to open up the mastery test. Now notice how this is white right here. That will remain white until you have been inside this study portion for at least 15 minutes. Once you've met that minimum requirement, it will open up the practice test. And this practice test button will be white. So what does this study session look like? So you click on that. It says U.S. History 1. It's a good idea to take notes under the name of the course and the lesson. There's the course. Here's the lesson, European Exploration. So I write in my notes, European Exploration. So when I get to one of the review tests, I'll have a better idea where to look for answers. Hit the next screen. You read the screen, write down what you think is important. Go to the next screen. Read it a couple times even. Read it, Write down what you think is important. Go to the next screen. And this is kind of, in a sense, the book portion of this lesson. This is where they're teaching you what they want you to know. You might have a movie pop up. Watch that little movie or go to the picture. Read these things a couple times. Take notes on them, etc., etc. If you feel like you've missed something, you can go back using these arrows. Don't just click through here. Don't just click through here without reading, without taking notes, because you'll never be able to pass the test. Now notice right here, this this word or this concept is in red. I mean, that's probably pretty important. I would definitely pay particular attention to that. So it says the New World consists of continents of North and South America. The individuals and groups who populated the New World were the indigenous people. So who were they? They were the people who were already there. They were indigenous to that land. That's what that's saying. So read that whole thing, take some notes, go to the next screen. The extent of the European exploration of the New World is shown on the map. Nearly all of North and South America was explored during the early expedition of the New World. So there's North and South America. You go to the next screen. So this is how you go through the material. Okay, so I'm going to exit out here. I want to take you back to this other screen so you can see how something works. So you can see here in this study that I've been in there 1 minute, probably a little more. I've got to be in there 15 minutes before it will open up this practice test. To open up the mastery test, I have to get 80% here before, at least 80% here before it will allow me to take the mastery test. To complete the lesson, I've got to get 70%, and then I've got to go and do the essay. Now, let me go. When you've done that, let me go back one. When you've done that, you'll get a little check here or an apple here, and you'll be able to go to the next lesson. That's how this works. When you get to this review test 1 and you pass it, that means you have 1 credit. When you get to review test 2 and you pass it, that means you have 2 credits, etc., etc., etc. You can see review test 3 there, review test 4, review test 5. Not only must you do review test 5, but you also must do the course final to get your 5th credit. And that's how it works. I hope this was helpful. Signing off here, me and Bugs Money.